Hello and welcome back for Game 2 of the Friend or Foe series, Heroic Day 3. We've got Blue Bayou Zoo, Falcon Esports going at it, coming head-to-head. And we've got, this is Shargan, and I have joining with me again is Sword Blue. And how are we doing, Sword Blue? That was your first game casting, I believe, last time, right?
Yeah, it was. It was very fun. It was exciting.
All right. Well, it's very fun, very exciting, and it's always kind of one of those things where it's like you got to just kind of shake it up, and like just move on into the next one.
Exactly. It's gotta. Yep. Exactly. Move on. Yep.
So one thing I do want to bring up is you are a challenger player. You've actually almost made it into the Academy League a couple of times, right?
Yes. I mean that was back when I was in high school.
So
I mean it was a good opportunity. I got a lot of experience.
Right. And with that means you kind of have a pretty cool mentality as approaching a draft phase where you have kind of a general idea of the champs your opponents plays. What is it that you're thinking of when you're going for these picks and bans?
I mean, honestly, in picks and bans, I'm always thinking about, I mean, again, you kind of have to scout the other players, what they like to play, and also the team. Because a lot of like these teams, they will kind of scout you on like the team environment and how you guys like play together as a team. So you kind of can just kind of scout, what they're gonna play, like for the for the bans and picks as well.
Right. So knowing kind of what your opponent's team comp is and what they like to play, that way it's gonna definitely influence all of that. So with these 3 picks and bans on each, or 3 bans that we have so far on each side, with the Nocturne Shen Vlad and all of that on the side of Falcon Esports, what is it you're kind of thinking they're trying to avoid the other team?
Honestly, I think for BBZ, I think they kind of just want to play front to back. With the stylist pick, it could be, I mean, that could be a flex pick. It could be top or mid, right? So from looking at BBZ, they banned Nocturne Shen. Like that kind of means like they don't want to deal with these, they don't want to get engaged on. Because Falcon Esports, they could run like a 1-3-1 as well with the Hecarim, and again with their ban picks with Lolia Udyr. So.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. An Echo and a Hecarim both coming out on the side of Falcon Esports. It's kind of
yeah, it looks like that's Echo mid. Ooh, I mean the Varus is interesting. I think it's getting meta now with the Halo Blades. Like you go lethality, or I think you go AP or something like that. You go both.
Oh really? So it's the meta's starting to shift on.
No, I was playing solo queue. It was 2 days ago, and someone went they went like hybrid on Varus. They went Kraken and they went AP afterwards. So that was very interesting.
Yeah, like gives you that extra mixed damage, which makes it that much harder to build defensively against. Yeah. And then throwing that Lulu on there anyway is just automatically going to make.
I mean, just appeal for the Varus. I mean, it's looking like it's a front to back for BBC. But go for it.
No, I was gonna say that front to back phrase. You used that a couple of times. For those of us who don't necessarily know what front to back 1-3-1 are, that I'm guessing is a going through the front line to the back line, right?
Exactly, and 1-3-1 it's pretty much like you don't want a team fight. You just kind of want to split the map and get objectives from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, definitely we're seeing a lot of hard engage coming out on the side of Falcon Esports with the Echo and the Hecarim. Yeah. Then you throw in an Aatrox in the mix, and that's going to be some massive upfront damage. Yeah, that's a lot of upfront damage that's in your face.
Yeah, it looks like Falcon Esports, they also want to just front to back because they have 2. I mean, I consider Aatrox a tank too because that guy is just really crazy. Hecarim, Aatrox is in their face. I mean, but they got Lulu as well, so BBC should be good with the peeling.
They do have that, and then you got a nice bit of CC coming out with the Bard pick on the FEC.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to look picks. I mean, Bard does counter Lulu because you can always just ulti them and just repeat dive them over and over bot.
Okay, and then so interesting. We got the Wukong response for the Aatrox. I believe it was a Wukong versus a Ornn was one of the last matches we had during the Mythic League, and that Wukong was putting out a lot more damage than I was expecting. I think I might have been. I don't know if I missed a patch or something, but I think I might have been sleeping on that champ a little.
No, Wukong is really. I mean, that champion does a lot of damage early, especially early game as well. Since Wukong gets armor per auto, right? I think I don't know what it stacks. I think it's 10 stacks or something. You get armor. You get like 67 armor, 70 armor, like level 1 or something like that. It's crazy.
And we've got the Skarner coming out. That's not a champion you see picked a lot in solo queue, but in team play we've been seeing it crop up quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean both of these teams are pretty much just front to back.
And then we got a Vayne pick on the side of FEC. I'm not entirely sure about that Vayne pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that Vayne pick since they don't. I mean, they only. I mean, Skarner. I guess Skarner is the only tank, but I mean, Wukong could also go tank build.
So just kind of looking at these two teams right now, it's like I really liked FEC's draft. Falcons doing a really good job with that. Like early on, that's a lot of scary CC, a lot of hard engage, and then you throw Vayne in the mix. I'm not entirely sure why you would want such that kind of a champ in there. And then you look at the side of BBZ, that's a lot of AP damage with the Sylas and the hybrid Varus.
Honestly, I think Falcon Esports just wants to scale. Like, I mean, I think that's the reason why they picked Vayne, because they're champions. They don't really do much early game. Like, they have no damage early. Like, Echo's pretty weak. Aatrox is meh. Like, I mean, Hecarim, I guess there's a lot of damage, but again, so it's pretty much playing to scale.
Right. So what's your kind of prediction just based off of that? I'm kind of leading.
I mean, I think I have to go with Falcon Esports. You know, even though I love Chris Sunga here, but Falcon's Esports comp is looking really scary.
That is looking really scary. Well, I'm on the side of BBZ, so let's go ahead and hop onto the riff and see how this whole thing plays out. All right. Now, do you think we're going to get a level 1 invade? I would hope so, but I don't really know. I don't think BBZ has the damage early on. And then Falcon, like you said before, their damage is much more.
I think they're just going to 5-point here and just, they're just going to 5-point.
So what's the advantage of doing this 5-point spread that we keep seeing on all these champs?
I mean, it's just to gain vision where they're at. Because again, if the champion isn't there, then they could be either just invading or they're waiting for you to, you know, for you to go back and they can put a ward down. Because again, a lot of junglers, right? They put a ward down and they recall and they get a red trinket. So by not getting seen, you can easily track what the jungler is gonna do.
Right, and I think they're probably gonna let this crystal on the bot side go for a little bit. Just kind of keep it over for the red side.
I mean, this game's just gonna be. It feels like this game's gonna be like a very slow paced game. Like, you know, Hecarim's just gonna farm full clear. Skarner's just gonna full clear. I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of fights like level 6, like level 5 or level 6.
Level 5, level 6 is probably where it is going to be. You know, I probably, although with the amount of damage that a bard can put out early on, I could see something happen in level 2, but I mean, that's what my preference would have been. Like for Falcon, take some kind of hard engage ADC. Like, I don't know, like a Draven or something like that might not have been a bad idea. I
wanted something really aggressive, but like an AD carry there.
Yeah, because then you've got the scaling on the side of Echo and Hecarim. You can have that hard engage early ADC. Now, looking at these matchups, I really like Lights' Sylas. I think he's been pretty spicy on it, and so I'm looking forward to some interesting plays. But versus an Echo, how does that matchup kind of play out?
I think it's in Sylas's favor because of the healing. I mean, Echo does have a corrupting potion, so he can stay in lane for quite a while.
Right.
But I believe Sylas has quite the advantage because of the W from the heal and also the ulti. So Sylas is really hard to kill with Echo ult as well.
Yeah, no, just the fact that he can go back in time and kind of basically negate everything that had just happened. Look at Raw Blaster taking a lot of damage from She-Hulk.
Well, I'm telling you, the Wukong Conquer, it's coming.
Wukong Conquer. Yeah, that's going to be nasty. And in the meantime, Champion Red getting a lot of poke damage out onto halves. Just getting that bard down to half HP. Lights is already back up to full. Misses the Kingbreaker, though. So he doesn't get the stun off. That could have been a first blood if he'd hit that.
Yeah, that was close. That E was really close.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed Sylas did not take Ignite. He took Teleport.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like in competitive, I mean, solo queue, then, you know, some players would take Ignite because it's solo queue. But I think it's better to have TP just in case, you know.
Well, we got a Wild West Wild deciding he wants to engage on this Lights. That is a Throne Breaker coming out, and his Wild West goes under the turret, takes a lot of damage, and the proc comes out for the first blood over to Sylas.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so hard to gank that Sylas, man. That Kingslayer plus the E just makes him so hard to kill and to gank.
It really does. Just the double cast on it is so nasty. So nasty.
But I was just saying, going TP in competitive is a lot better than going Ignite, just to be safe. So like, if you get ganked and die, like you don't get punished as hard because you can TP back to lane.
Right, just like exactly what happened right here. Lights staying in the lane almost too long. He does manage to get down Camel Basil though.
Yeah, this guy's 1v9. This guy's a 1v9 machine in the mid lane.
I told you, Lights' Sylas is scary. That's a champion they should not have let him pick up.
Yeah, I gotta start playing that Sylas support.
Dude, Silas support is terrifying if you've got a good ADC to combo with it. It's like a Leona, but with damage.
Exactly, and you can steal people's ultimate.
So with that in mind, so Silas is going to be able to steal ultimates. There's a lot of really nice choices for him on the side of Falcon to take.
There's a lot of disengage and engage. I mean Silas can look for Bartle, Hecarim ult, right? So there's a lot of potential engage and disengage for BBC.
There really is. And one thing I want to point out with that Aatrox in the top lane, he did something really interesting by attacking the Wukong near the wall. It caused his Q's hitbox to like get crunched, so he had less of an area to miss.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just me misreading it or if that's the way the hitbox plays out, because that's actually
I think that's how the hitbox. So I'm telling you, some of the hitbox in this game is really weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of spaghetti code. Good thing Mordekaiser isn't in this game right now. So.
Yep. No, it's like Thresh or Nautilus. Like when they hook you, they're like, "What? They hook me through the minions, man."
It's that lollipop. It prioritizes champions. There we go. That King Breaker comes out, but it's not able to actually hit onto Echo.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Echo could really do now. This guy has a blasting wand now, and Sapphire Crystal.
Yeah, so right here we've got Wild West Wild coming down into the bot lane. He's getting a lot of damage off of that. That's a nice stun coming out from Baby Wap as he manages to get the Condemn. That is going to be a magical journey, though, as they go in on Dax. Poor little Dax here is taking a lot of damage, but we've got Champion Red coming up to kind of clean it up. That is actually probably a moment where Silas or Varus wants to throw a Q over the wall, hit the dragon, maybe get some extra damage, but doesn't quite manage.
Wow, from all that Fiesta, only one person died there.
That is a really well controlled. There's a lot of really good control. Look at this, Dax kiting that jungle.
No,
but he gets executed to the ground. Oh, and I was about to say this is how you want to do it, but that's not how you want to do it.
It's 2 in a row now. 2 in a row.
That is 2 in a row.
I believe his smite was coming up too. I think it was like 6 seconds left.
Yep, and we got the "this is fine" coming out from Dax as he's like, you didn't say anything. It's all good. I needed to back, and that's how I wanted to do it.
That's all good. It was
it's all part of the plan.
Exactly, it was planned out. He put the emote too, so he let the viewers know it was all planned out. He wanted to do that.
Exactly. All right, so right now we've got Dax going straight over to the Rift Herald. I think they're probably going to try and, as soon as this thing... Oh, no, it's not up for another minute. But they're going to go ahead and take this Scuttle Crab in the middle lane, get them some vision up here.
I mean, honestly, BBC have an advantage of like winning fights in the river just because of the Skarner passive, right? Like gives them movement speed, damage, attack speed.
Yep.
So the buff on that's really, really good.
Yeah, and in the mid lane we've got Silas has already hit level 7, Camel Basil level 6, so we've got the Echo ult ready and waiting to proc. So that's gonna. I feel like now Echo is the time Echo can actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, he has those items.
Oh, we got a magical journey. Haps is coming down into the bot lane. He's going through the wall. He doesn't manage to get the stun off, though. That's a lot of damage coming out as Champion Red manages to get a nice arrow through the chest. They aren't going to be able to pick up a kill, though. I thought they were going to go a little bit harder onto that. Camel Basil in the mid lane. We got a Fiesta going on across the map. That is a nice Echo ult. Lights is looking to continue this engage. He throws out the Q, but doesn't manage to actually hit. The Thronebreaker is not up yet, so he can't finish off the engagement.
Wow, did they just 2v3? Yo, Varus OP confirmed.
Yep, Varus OP confirmed. In the meantime, Dax is like, hey, I know I died to the bot lane jungle, but I'm going to go ahead and take red.
Exactly. I mean, Hecarim loses a lot here. I mean, if that's Garner, let's see if he full clears the whole jungle top. I think he does here.
Oh, yeah. I think it's something he could easily do, but I think he's going to avoid that and go right for the gank in the top lane.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to come right up behind Raw Blaster. Raw Blaster's going to know he's coming, but Shiho's going to basically make that disengage not matter. They go under the turret. That is going to be a suppression pull out from underneath that. That's a flash coming out as well, but there's nowhere for him to go as Shiho takes down the Raw Blaster.
See, the CC, the knock up into the Skarner roll. There's nothing you can do about that. I believe even if the Aatrox flashed, he was still going to die.
Yeah, oh, the Aatrox did flash, and he flashed to just under turret.
And Wukong is, I mean, they didn't even have to burn some as well.
They did not.
Not looking good.
And that's going to be a trade of Infernal Drake for Rift Herald, which in my opinion is probably a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see where he puts the Rift Herald. I mean, it's probably a good idea to put in mid again, because again, mid turret is really hard to get in this game. So
Yeah,
we'll see where he puts it.
Yeah, both Echo and Silas have fantastic wave clear.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that Silas is maxing W, but I don't know, because he could either max Q or W on Silas.
Man, just look at that corrupted arrow just doing so much damage.
Lethality Varus.
So,
yep.
I was gonna say we're looking at, he's got 3 swords right now, just kind of like stacked onto his bow, just kind of like tied on with rope.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if he actually goes hybrid here, like he goes AP and AD. I'm surprised he's not going.
We got a good engage here. We got the nice root coming out from Varus. We got the magical journey ready and waiting. Beshiwap though is not gonna be able to make it. He's gonna die just on the edge. That is gonna be a chase under tower as Dax just follows the Bard, and there's nowhere for them to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you there.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah,
man,
so it's like with that, we're just kind of seeing like this is a complete opposite of the last game right there. Keenbreaker coming out, but it's not going to be able to actually lock onto the Camel Basil.
I mean, BBC's just playing it very well early.
They are. So I think the scaling is going to be very important for Falcon.
Oh yeah. I mean, for Falcon Esports, I mean, again, right? All they kind of have to do is scale, but they're just getting, beat really hard early game. So.
Right. Oh, and you were talking about dropping it in the mid lane. They decided to drop it in the bot lane because they know that once this actual jump goes off, that should.
He mistimed the Bard ult there.
Mistimed it a little bit, but that's going to be a Dax going down as he takes a lot of damage from Wild West chasing him down. It's really nice seeing him on a Hecarim because it just works. That's going to be a champion red double kill going over to Vayne, and that should be a shutdown goal, to believe, as well, just with how well Varus has been doing. And look at that turret.
One more auto on that turret.
Someone just needs to go over and sneeze on that thing, knock it over.
Exactly. I mean, again, that was really good for Falcon Esports to give those kills to Vayne. Now she can start scaling and getting those items so she can carry these.
Yeah, I feel like that was just a little bit of an overstay on the side of BBZ. All right, and then we're looking at the top lane right now. Shiho is engaging into the Raw Blaster, but he doesn't do enough damage to like get the kill, but doesn't really need to.
I mean, in the meantime, the Wukong has executioners now, so I mean, Aatrox can't really heal everything. Because the whole point of Aatrox, right? It's just it's pretty much just healing off your Qs.
That is going to be an ultimate coming out from Varus as Champion Red gets a lot of damage out onto Beshiwap. Beshiwap's going to flash away, but gets suppressed and taken out. That is a magical journey in which Dax is following, but Haps misses the stun. That is going to be really bad for him as he's running the wrong way. He's not able to go under tower because it's too low health, so it doesn't matter. Dax doesn't actually get close enough to Lulu for that second stun to come off, and that is going to be an easy pickup right there.
Yeah, the Lulu W plus the Skarner W made it. That was a fast Skarner.
It's just a little bit fast Skarner. We got Varus in the bot lane. He's going to finish off that tower, take it down, and he's just going to clear this wave. We are already seeing a massive difference between the two games that these two games that we've had so far. In the trees, went for the slow play scale, and they were allowed to slow play scale. BBZ in the meantime is like, oh, we see you want to scale. That's not going to happen. We're just going to crush you in the early game.
No, exactly. I mean, because again, like versus a scaling team, again, you don't really have damage early. So you kind of just want to like abuse that and try to get every single objective, and like you kind of want to just keep forcing fights because you do win early game, right? Versus a scaling team.
Exactly, and then taking a Silas into that, just giving you all those different options here. Now he hasn't had a chance to really roam, but he hasn't really needed to. Champion Red in the meantime has come here to the mid lane. This is going to be 2v1. Vayne is coming up as well. We've got Bard is basically is finally able to start doing Bard things and go get himself some chimes because he hasn't even had a chance to do that yet.
Yeah. So right here, right now, so since tier 1 turret died, Silas just goes to bot, and they're, I guess he ulted back to mid because he saw Echo. I think it was running out, but again, he pretty much goes bot, and then the Varus and Lulu goes to mid and just tries to get that turret, just tries to pressure it.
And we've got Dragon coming up here right about now, so we're going to see BBZ kind of set up around this. This is going to be something I don't think Falcon is actually able to contest.
Oh, they can. I mean, there's no. They blocked all the vision, so they have to enter through fog here, and that's really dangerous versus this BBC comp.
Yeah, early on, we've already seen that Skarner ultimate getting that suppression out has just
that's
been
scary, man. With no cleanse.
Yeah,
no cleanse. I mean,
No
not cleanse.
cleanse.
QSS, because no cleanse doesn't even work on Skarner ulti.
Oh, that's true because it's a suppression.
Uh-huh.
Yep, but right now we've got Shiho who's getting that was a nice little clone jump to get out.
I like that. Yeah.
And the emote coming out is he's like, you need a tent over there, Wild?
He didn't even flash. That was just a W. That was a really good W.
Yeah, that was just a clone W to get out, and he managed to slip away scot-free.
Oh, so Varus went Dustblade. So every time he gets a kill, he just goes on style. It's like, it's pretty much going assassin. He's going to try to assassin people. Assassinate.
Okay, so it's probably not going to be seeing a hybrid build coming out from him right now.
No, I believe not. I mean, we'll see what... I mean, he's going to go Manamume, so I don't know what his other items are going to be, but I don't think it's going to...
Look at this poor Camel Basil just getting engaged in on both sides. With the Echo ult coming out, hitting both of the targets. Bard ultimate coming out does manage to actually hit Camel Basil, but he's suppressed, so it doesn't able to get away. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out as we've got Lights doing the work on the backline. We've got the Bane passive, though, is going to be able to take him out. Those silver bolts doing all the work. Dax is going to have to flash away just to get out of that fight. Beshiwap is starting to come online here.
Yeah, I mean that was really good rotation from Falcon Esports. You know, they're getting these shutdown gold. I think it was a shutdown, right? No, it was a shutdown.
That was a shutdown, taking down the
Silas there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a really good Bardo. The Bardo was able enough.
It managed to hit both Silas and the I'm blanking already on who was in that fight. The Echo.
That was Skarner.
It was no, Skarner actually was still running around.
Oh, Echo was in the ulti as well. So it bought time. It bought time.
It bought him the time that he needed, even though he went down as soon as he was no longer golden. That is a nice little control ward that's been placed, and Lulu's going to go ahead and try and pick it up. We're fighting over Rift Herald right now. Wild West does not want to engage on this. I don't believe they know that Cross Songo is right there waiting for him to do it. Look at this. That is a huge ult coming out from Bears. That's a lot of damage going right onto Wild as well as he gets taken out almost immediately. Bard is getting suppressed and pulled away into the back line. Gets completely wrecked. Shiho is going on to Camel Basil as hard as he can, but isn't quite able to get it. Beshiwap in the meanwhile doing the work. Those silver bolts are no joke, and that is going to be an easy Rift Herald pickup for BBZ.
Wow, interesting. I mean, BBC just got, you know, they were the first person there to hit those CCs, so... Honestly, with this Rift Herald, they should just group and they should just siege mid since they're so ahead that they can just like keep fighting over and over nonstop.
Exactly, and I think if we were to actually look at a replay of that fight, we would see that the what do you call it? There was no vision on the side of Falcon to actually like be able to pick out where the members of BBZ were, which is why Hecarim was caught by that Varus ultimate and was just locked in place.
Exactly, that's why it's so scary with there's no vision.
I'm
telling you.
Yeah, and I think if we look at the vision scores right now, we're gonna see that the supports are about the same, and so are the junglers. So in all honesty, it's kind of funny. Vayne has put down some boards, looking at those scores. So maybe it's just a matter of where they've been placed, rather than how many. Look at that. That was a nice Lights using the Hecarim ult to go in on the Echo. Echo is going to ult away as well. He's going to get that stun off, but it's not going to matter as Wild comes down to join him. So this actually might be Lights in a bad situation. He does have to flash away to get under tower. I thought that was Skarner coming down, not Hecarim.
it looked like Skarner, not going to lie.
So I was like, it's not going to matter, Skarner. Wait, no, that's Hecarim.
Yeah, Silas is just, man, too much healing on that champion.
So much healing, and in regards to, we've got the healing reduction on the side of BBZ, but we don't have healing reduction on the side of Falcon.
No, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, if you can ignite him, that's really, really good too, but buying Executioner for Silas is, especially like on Vayne too, like, because you can build it anytime you want, just to prevent, you know, the healing from Lulu and Silas.
Yeah, I probably would have picked up an Executioner's just after finishing the Kraken Slayer, just so that you didn't have to worry about it anymore as you start roaming.
Yeah.
All right, now with this, we've got Dragon coming up here in another 10 seconds. I think this is going to be an easy thing for BBZ's already setting up for it. They're just going to kind of tighten up all of the jungle on the bot side. There's nothing that Falcon can do to stop this.
No, there's really not. I mean, so Dragon's up. I mean, they're just gonna wait for objectives to just spawn again. Like they're just gonna be splitting. Like because the BBC could just 1-3-1 here.
Dax is going in hard, but he gets condemned into the wall, gets put in a bad spot as he's about to get taken out. There's a TP coming in as we've got Aatrox joining this fight. And I think, okay, so here's what I think is going to happen. We've got the rest of Falcon is going to come down. We're going to start this Drake, but that's more of a bait. Shiho is hanging out in that little bush. They don't know that he's there. He's just waiting. That is going to be a 4-man jump, a 5-man knockup. That was a huge Hecker Emerald coming out from Lights as they just completely wreck face on Falcon. We've got Vayne in the background trying to do some work. They don't manage to pick up the kill on Lights as the Silverbolt's doing all that work, but that is going to be a huge amount of damage coming out from Varus. We've got a snipe coming out as it goes through the wall, and that is going to be a Wind Drake over to the side of BBZ.
Yo, the coordination on this team is insane.
It really is. So go ahead and give me the rundown right here. Just watch as this whole thing plays out.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Wukong. I mean, Wukong finds it, follow that up with the Hecker multi, and for now it's just kind of front to back here with Varus Lulu.
That 5-man Wukong knockup was just nasty.
Yeah. The follow up with the Hecker multi as well. I mean, that made it a lot easier for Silas to hit that.
Yeah, and that was a great prediction from Varus on exactly where Vayne was gonna be.
That was really smart because they didn't know they had no vision of Dragon Ranch, so that was really smart of Wukong to actually stay in that bush. And when they grouped, they went on that. So.
Exactly, yeah. He was just sitting right on top of that control ward, so didn't have to worry about it. And I was getting a little worried with how they were just kind of like almost walking into the bush, but he didn't move.
Oh yeah, I was just like, what's going on?
That's very much a hold.
It's like
hold.
I mean, that was really good like communication there, you know, from the whole team.
Right. Now, if you're Falcon, I'm not entirely sure what exactly you can do to kind of come back into this game because it's 3 towers to 0. Falcon has not managed to pick one up. They've got to get themselves either a pick or a really nice 5v5 team fight, but I don't know if they're strong enough to pull that off.
It's just like, I mean, from last game as well, like it's really hard to split push. Like if you don't win the split push, right? Since since BBC, like every lane just wins. So it's just going to be really hard for Falcon Esports to like even split push at this point.
Right, and then Shiho's right over here. He's just kind of like walking up on Wild West, and I think it's more of just to kind of scare him rather than actually do anything, as it forces a 4-man rotation up to the red buff just to make sure that he's able to get it.
It's just, I mean, it's just what everyone says. So you need a miracle now. You need a miracle.
Honestly, I think that's exactly what Falcon's praying for right now.
Because honestly, like, because when I'm in these situations, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I mean, like, what's the next play? Like, what can we do? You know, there's no more options for you to kind of play it out. You kind of just have to like group and hopefully you get a miracle that you can get all the shutdown. But
yeah, like what? Just you gotta kind of rely on the mistakes that BBZ might have happen here. That top tower just does not want to go down.
It'll go down eventually.
Eventually, Lights is going to clear this up, and that's fine that he's going to go over and just kind of slap it, and it's going to fall over.
It's just, man, it's just so many pick potentials. Like, once you enter the fog, Varus ult, Skarner ult, Wukong, and then you're dead. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're dead before you can even press your buttons.
Yeah, and with the fact that Skarner's just suppressing you, there's literally nothing you can do.
No, yep. And again, there's no QSS on Falcon Esports. So.
You got that stun coming out from Lights. It's not even having to engage on it, and the Kingbreaker right after. Haps is already at half health just from that one little skirmish. Look at that, Varus ult right onto Wild West Wild. Gets locked in place, doesn't actually go down. That is a very well-timed Bard ultimate, but not quite a well-timed Echo. We got another, the fight's just starting to break open right now. Wild West Wild taking a lot of damage. He's having to go through and just run out the back. We got a Bard ulti coming out from Silas right there as he stole that. That is a nice knockup on Wukong. We got a lot of fight going on here in the bot lane as Varus is just trying to kite that. He does manage to pick up Champion Red doing what champions do. That is a fight that swung in both directions very quickly.
I mean, that was really close. I mean, the Aatrox was trying to kill the Varus, but you got Lulu there. There's no way you're gonna kill that Varus with Lulu.
Yeah, those Lulu shields with the knockup was just, oh my god, there was nothing they could do. And this is going to be probably an easy Baron call, I would say, for BBZ.
Yeah, I mean that was a really good Bardo. I mean, I think he got the he got the Lulu and the Varus there, I think, or the Skarner. I'm not sure.
So, I've got one question for you. One of the issues that I always have is when I end up in a game that's kind of like this situation, where Baron is down, Dragon's not up for another minute and a half. Most of your lanes are starting to like push into the enemy turret. What exactly do you do if there's no jungle?
You just gotta stay in base, man. There's really nothing you can do.
Just pull out a book and kind of start.
Yeah, because the thing is, once you enter your jungle, like you're just gonna die because they're all gonna be there. Honestly, what Falcon Esports can do is, so right now BBC should be 1-3-1 right now since Wukong Sylas can split and they can get those tier 2 turrets. But again, what Falcon can do is they can actually kind of just try to kill Sylas or Wukong and try to get some gold at least. But again, but at the end they'll lose like turrets for that. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing they can pretty much.
Right. Do. That was a nice flash by Dax jumping in. We got the QSS coming out from Vayne though. Beshiwap taking so much damage, does not quite go down. Ultimate coming out from Haps does hit the Dax. We've got Varus waiting though, seeing the Vayne come up into range, just drops that arrow right on their face. And that is a lot of damage coming out from the side of BBZ. And we got Echo re-engaging onto Cross Songo, but Cross is going to go ahead and use the Lulu ultimate to keep themselves alive. And this fight, it basically it looked kind of risky for BBZ at one point, but then they're just like, nah, we're fine.
Man, poor Vayne. Even with the QSS, she still got Varus ult and then just died.
Damage.
And yeah, Aatrox, again, this match, Aatrox can't do much anymore. Look at that.
Yeah, there's just too much damage coming out from Shiho. You got
his healing gets cut off by the Executioners, so.
Yeah, you got the Executioners cutting off that damage. You've got the Cleave coming out as well, so those minions are just not helping out Aatrox at all.
I mean, I'm surprised why Vayne didn't go Executioners.
That is kind of, again, this is something I think that a lot of teams just don't do. Is they don't pick up Grievous Wounds, because like you were saying before, where it feels like it's so overpowered, they're like, why even bother? Look at that damage, though, as there's a shutdown coming out. That was the Silver Bolts doing the work, as we have the shutdown going down on Shiho.
Yeah, I mean, they get the kill, but
look, he's tanking that tower shot. That was a nice W from Aatrox, a nice knock-up right there. We got the 1-2 shots coming out from Beshiwap, managing to pick up that kill on Shiho.
That's the Kraken Slayer W special on Vayne.
That was a lot of damage. Ooh, that was a nice jump by Lights to get out of the Bard ultimate. Look at this. We've got the magical journey, but I'm afraid you're about to go on a journey of your own, Hops, as Dox goes right in on there. We got a huge Echo ult, a Hecarim ult coming out from Lights as he stole that, going back into the back line. Beshiwap doing the work. Lights is in a bad spot. He's going to get down, take it down here, but the Lulu ult comes out to keep him alive, but it's not quite enough. He does manage to pick up the kill on Beshiwap. Camel Basil takes him down. Then we got Aatrox being the only one left, and that is a huge win for BBZ, and this could be game.
I think it is game. Oh, they tried so hard. The Sylas lived for so long there with Zhonya's.
He did. He went gold and was able to survive the final bit of damage, which allowed time for the Lulu ult to come out and keep him.
It's just, I mean, BBC just way too ahead, and you can't really do much at this point. I mean, I don't think it's game. I think they're just playing it safe. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Because you got Bard coming up right now. You'll have Wild West Wild come up here in just a sec, as well as Beshiwap, and it's like, they get it down to one Nexus turret, and at this point, you've got a cracked like the inhibitor's gone. The inhibitor turret in mid lane is practically gone as well. This is just going to be a third Windrake over to the side of BBZ, and that movement speed has been helping them out so much.
The Skarner crystal thingy.
Dude, the Skarner is just able to get around the map like crazy. Sylas is able to easily get out of those Bard and Echo abilities. Just doesn't even have to worry about them.
No, exactly. But again, I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, they did Falcon Esports did kill Wukong, right? They killed him and got gold. But the thing is, like, you lose turret for that. You're losing inhibitors for that. So.
Exactly. Yeah, they were able to, and that was the only reason they were able to win that fight in the bot lane too, because it was a 5v4.
But it's just, again, miracle needs to happen.
They need that miracle. We got Lights coming over here, taking the Skarner crystal for himself, for his team.
Let's see what Falcon Esports do here, but they're just desperate right now.
They are. You got a open inhib in the mid lane. And so it's kind of like, I feel like BBZ is going to play around this. You got a huge amount of damage coming out from that charged Varus arrow. Takes Beshiwap down a third of their health. That is a nice stun coming out from Camel Basil, but he only manages to pick up one member of BBZ. The fight is now started. Raw Blaster gets hit by the Bard ultimate. That's not what he wanted to have happen. Silas is diving into the back line. Beshiwap taking too much damage. That is Beshiwap taking down Shiho, though. And that is a Raw Blaster taking down stuff as well.
Oh my god.
Taking turret. Look at that knockup from the Lulu open. That is a quadra kill over to the side of BBZ.
That Varus Q did 500 damage there. Like, that was a straight line. Gonna hit 3 people.
Absolutely insane. And with that, that is going to be a clean Nexus takedown. Lights going golden for the disco. And that is BBZ, Blue Bayou Zoo, picking up that win, 28-9.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow. I mean, just wow. That's all I can really say.
That was a rough one.
I mean, again, with like the comps, Falcon Esports comp looked really good. It looked really good. I just didn't know like the Vayne pick.
Yeah, I feel like that Vayne pick, they needed something like a Jinx or a Draven, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Something.
That someone like that does like a lot of damage, or like with Kai'Sa. I mean, Kai'Sa is even really good. Tristana's also good. I just don't think the Vayne pick is really good because you don't do as much damage as you do with those champions earlier in the game.
Exactly. And then as we're looking at the damage charts right here, we can just see how much Varus was doing. Can we see how much magic damage he did? Because that's why I'm kind of curious. Silas was the one so he didn't do a lot of magic damage. He didn't go for that hybrid build.
But I mean, but if he went hybrid, I think he would have matched with Silas in magic damage.
Probably. Just the amount of damage that was being put out is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing with Varus. It's like you don't really have to auto. All you have to do is just poke them with your Q over and over and over again. That's the whole point of the lethality, so.
Yeah, the lethality is just that on-hit damage. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be having an interview here shortly, and then following that, we'll have Yubi versus Yumi Basic Income versus Team Spear coming up next. Stick around.
Welcome back, folks. It's Chris Edgeworth again, handling the interview for our victorious Blue Bayou Zoo. We have Shiho here from the top lane here. Did I say that correctly, first of all?
Yeah, you said it correctly.
Cool, right on. So going from there, I mean, just start us out here. What was the plan going into this game?
Personally, we kind of knew that they were going to draft kind of aggressive team fighting, so we just kind of wanted to match that with our own, and that's kind of why we picked what we picked.
Fair enough. What about your experience then going into this lane matchup against the Aatrox? You got the Wukong counter pick. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I got my counter pick, so it made it relatively easy, and then he just kind of threw waves at me, so I just caught the waves and got an XP lead, and then eventually just managed to stack the minions for a dive, which felt pretty clean, pretty good.
And it sounds like you're really suffering from success there, just getting all the waves, getting all the experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on that point, I mean, you absolutely killed it on the Wukong. You didn't maybe end up with all of the kills from your team, but I mean, you hit some nasty ultimates, especially that 5-man on 5-man ultimate. I'm pretty sure it was a 5-man Wukong ult into the 5-man Sylas. One thing I want to point out to people who might not know this, before I ask you about that play, for the Sylas Hecarim ult is actually crazy nuts damage because it increases the AP ratio on Hecarim's ultimate, and it has a 100% AP ratio. So it does a trillion damage coming from Sylas for people who don't know that. So what was your thoughts on that play? It seemed like that was really where the game cracked open.
Well, to be honest, I was just kind of keeping watch of the Dragon Pit, just trying to slow down the jungler for my own jungler, but they kind of just let me walk in for free, and so I took it and just told David to follow up, and he did, and that's how we did it.
One of my quotes is that, you know, for a throw to happen, you have to catch it. So if they all just like decide to stand around and you see it, you just hit it. So good for you to recognize that they were just sort of letting you go where they shouldn't, and then you guys really killed it in that team fight, and I think that was where the game really cracked open for you guys. So thank you for joining us on this interview. Is there any final thoughts before we leave you?
Reject ints, embrace BBZ.
Enough said, folks. With that, we're going to take a quick intermission before we're back with our third game of BBZ Heroic. Don't touch that browser.
Bye.